Hey everyone, Omar Santana-Gomez, he, him, with you for our fourth installment of Equity in Session. Today we are going to change things up a little bit. For our first segment today, we are joined by Sam Fennell, staff with the Washington State LGBTQ Commission. We hope to incorporate more of these direct connections to our commission and agency partners in future videos, so stay tuned. For now, I will send it over to Sam to tell you more about the important work being done at your Washington State LGBTQ Commission.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sam Fennell, he, him pronouns, and I am the program manager for the Washington State LGBTQ Commission. I'm here to tell you about our priority legislation and an update about the commission and what we are working on. Some bills we are continuing to follow that were discussed last week. Bill 1954, harmonizing language relating to reproductive health services and gender-affirming treatment. Bill 6127, increasing access to PEP drugs or therapies. PEP is post-exposure treatment for drug for individuals who have been potentially exposed to HIV. A few other bills that have passed the policy cutoff that we are following. Bill 5462, promoting inclusive learning standards and instructional materials in public schools. This bill will require the Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction and the Washington State LGBTQ Commission to review and update relevant state learning standards at all grade levels to include the histories and perspectives of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and the many other histories and perspectives of individuals who are part of the queer community. Including LGBTQ content and educational curricula ensures that the experiences, contributions, and struggles of the LGBTQ community and individuals are recognized and taught. It helps create a more inclusive environment where all students, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity, feel seen and valued. Bill 5983, an act relating to implementing the recommendations from the 2022 Sexually Transmitted Infection and Hepatitis B Virus Legislative Advisory Group for Treatment of Syphilis. This bill makes access for treatment to STIs more accessible and removes barriers partners face in getting treatment. The Washington State Commission has said farewell to Director Manny Santiago. Manny was the first director of the commission and was here for 4 years. We are sad to see him go, but wish him the best for what is next in his journey. We are currently hiring for the executive director position, and the application will be open until February 21st, 2024. The commission is also starting an LGBTQ Youth Advisory Council for the Office of the Governor. This is an amazing opportunity to join the LGBTQ Commission and help the governor in advancing equity for our state. Use your ideas, lived experience, and expertise to inform policies that directly impact some of the most vulnerable members of the LGBTQ community in the state. If you are interested in learning more about it, please go to our website at lgbtq.wa.gov. Lastly, the governor is appointing a new group of commissioners. If you are interested in applying, please go to the Boards and Commissioners webpage and apply. Review of applications will begin in March for appointment in July. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, Sam. Really appreciate having you in today. Now I'll send it over to Patrick for our Bills to Watch segment.
Hi, everybody. It's Patrick Stickney again. So we realized that we referenced the term policy cutoff last week, but didn't exactly explain what the cutoffs are. So I'm going to go into that before providing some bill updates. Each year, the legislature hears a lot of bills. The legislature and the state runs in a 2-year period, and the legislature has a regular session at the beginning of each year. Between both sessions, legislators have introduced more than 3,000 bills. Some passed last year, some were reintroduced for this second session, and some were introduced for the first time this session. The legislature doesn't have time to hear them all, so the cutoffs are a way to narrow down the bills, so the legislature can devote more attention to priorities. What we see then is that as the legislative session goes on, fewer and fewer bills make it past the cutoffs, and there is a smaller set of proposals that everybody is looking at. There are 6 cutoffs in total. We have policy cutoff, fiscal cutoff, House of Origin cutoff, opposite house policy cutoff, opposite house fiscal cutoff, and finally opposite house floor cutoff. We'll go into what each of those mean in a future video, but currently we are approaching the House of Origin floor cutoff on February 13th, where bills must have passed the chamber in which they were introduced in order to continue on in the process. And we'll link to the calendar where you can find the dates for these cutoffs in the video description below. For example, using the bills that we have talked about previously in this segment, House Bill 2209, celebrating Lunar New Year, and House Bill 1541, the Nothing About Us Without Us Act, have each passed their House of Origin and will continue on to be heard by the other chamber, in this case, the Senate. The same is true for House Bill 1954, Senate Bill 6127, Senate Bill 5462, and Senate Bill 5983 that Sam mentioned earlier in this video. On the other hand, House Bill 2230, the Economic Security for All grant program, Senate Bill 5955, improving equity in large port districts, and House Bill 2313 regarding digital equity have all made it out of their fiscal committees on Monday, February 5th, but still need to be passed off the floor of their House of Origin by February 13th to continue on in this process. So hopefully that helps provide some context. Thank you for watching, and check in next week for some more equity in session.